to Mike Seidel in the Forecast Center for a complete update.
And Kim, just in time for maybe some evening Christmas shopping in the Northeast right now, we've got snow, sleet, and freezing rain. The worst of it has been across southern New England and parts of the Northeast away from the coast. However, this evening we have seen some of this icy precipitation move into the New York City metro area. Let's take a look at the storm on the satellite loop, and it's the one that has taken the same track as the predecessors, moving in this direction. Here it is in the Northeast. We'll have more on this, and this will have an effect on your travel by Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Now, in the midst of the storm, or what is occurring in the New Jersey area, is Jim Cantore. Jim, a report now of sleet and freezing, or rather sleet and snow, light sleet and snow at Newark and Teterboro. What about where you are south of Newark?
Well, south of Newark here, Mike, we've actually seen kind of a shutoff to a lot of the precipitation. We had a period of moderate sleet, and that did accumulate a little bit on the
forecast. This is WeatherScope.
A wintry mix of precipitation may cause some trouble spots on the roads in the Northeast. Good evening and welcome to WeatherScope. I'm Kim Perez. Now, for all the details on this storm and the areas affected by it, we now turn to Mike Seidel in the Forecast Center for a complete update. Mike.
Okay, Kim, and we have problems tonight in the Northeast. Some of the roadways are icing up. We've got sleet, freezing rain, and snow. Something that we talked about last night, and for those of you in Boston, it could be a rocky rush hour. Let's talk about the storm from the satellite perspective. Now, the storm has been following the same track we've seen now for over a week and will continue coming down basically like this in this direction. Look at this guy. We'll have more on that in the studio. This is going to cause some problems by certainly Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but we're concerned with this area right now where we've had a mixed bag of precipitation. And joining me now, Tom Moore, our senior meteorologist on duty tonight here at the Weather Channel. Tom, we've had some sleet and snow around New York City, but the main problems will be well north and west of New York.
Right. Temperatures are flirting around freezing mark in New York City. The precipitation was light. But as you said, upstate, Hudson Valley, eastern New York, and then across southern New England, away from the coast, we're looking for wintry precipitation and even a little bit of accumulating snow.
And we can let everybody at home know, if you're in the Northeast watching or traveling, this is not going to be the storm of the age. No. We're talking about light snowfall, enough to shovel, but certainly not a crippling event. Let's go to the weather map now, show you what's going on. And we've got the cold high to the north, Tom. That is letting that cold air drain in from the Northeast, but we also have developing storminess off the coast.
Right. This isn't the strongest high that we've ever seen, but it was enough to provide some cool, dry air and lock it in place, held the precipitation back that was trying to advance to the north. As time goes on, the high will move eastward and erode away the cold air. And as you said, Mike, the low develops on the coast and moves up the eastern seaboard. That's going to bring some milder air into New Jersey and the immediate areas of New England, so you'll have to go inland to find the frozen precipitation eventually.
Right now we're seeing some frozen precip, Bradford, Pennsylvania, Johnstown and the Laurel Highlands. There's sheltered valleys where the cold air kind of sits in unless it's scoured out by a pretty good wind. But how about in southern New England and New York State? What do we expect this evening, next few hours, in case people are going out doing some Christmas shopping?
Well, around New York City, Mike, there may be a little bit of sleet coming in from the southwest, but not accumulating. But in areas of upstate New York, you get into the southern tier, the Catskills, through the Hudson Valley, the Taconic Parkway area, and then on into the Berkshires, the Litchfield Hills. We're going to see some accumulating snow eventually over toward Worcester, and even in Boston will start as frozen precipitation, but then the east wind will take over and bring the rain inland as the marine air becomes more entrenched in that area.
And there's that next batch of precip, which is now moving through the New York City area with reports of sleet and snow or mixture at the airports.
Right, and it'll let up a little bit in here, but then we see another band of that coming in over the next couple of hours. Again, no appreciable accumulations here, but a little bit of a nuisance as we move upstate, just a little bit also here in the higher elevations of northwestern New Jersey.
And as we look towards D.C. and Baltimore, no problems tonight. The rain is ending. Temperatures are in the mid-30s and no chance of that thermometer dropping below freezing. So they're out of the clear. It'll be areas to the north where temperatures are colder. 31 now in Boston, but you talked about the cold air in New England, 9 in Bangor.
Right, the high pressure is still holding there, and the cooler air establishes itself, and we call that a little bit of a wedge. But eventually the east winds kick in and get the cold air out, but certainly inland areas right in here, we're looking for a wintry mess, say along the Massachusetts Turnpike from the New York State border all the way east of Worcester.
And there's our snowfall accumulation forecast through noon tomorrow. And as we mentioned, this is not a major snowstorm by any means, enough to cause some problems on the roadways. And again,
forecast.